We've come a long way in the field of artificial intelligence itself. The idea was probably 60 years old. But what do you think happened for it to really become the talk of the town in the last 4, 5 years?
Oh, lesser, 2022. Anyway, I'll tell you a little bit. So, reinforcement. I mean, artificial intelligence itself, right? So, can trace its roots back to more than 40 years. Like it's close to the 1940s, right? The very first mathematical model of an artificial neuron, which is kind of the basis of a lot of the work that happens in AI today, was actually proposed in the 1930s. So it's not that we are talking about this now, and even as early as 1950s, people are talking about artificial intelligence systems becoming conscious of their existence and then reproducing, and then and a bunch of more human-like traits are being attributed to AI systems back in the 50s itself. So it's not like, I mean, the hype is new, not like the public fascination with AI is also not new, right? In fact, the International Joint Conference on AI is called ICHCAI, when it went to LA, right, Los Angeles, back in the 80s, the Los Angeles mayor came to the inauguration of the conference, and he said this is the largest event that has happened in LA since the Olympics. That is how big a conference it was back, like it's like 86 or 87 or something. So AI, I mean, it's been going in cycles, right? So we have had a significant hype cycle in AI. Of course, India was not very affected by it, even though there were a few academic initiatives that were started back in the 80s itself. It's called the knowledge-based computing systems that started back in the 80s, and in fact, even IIT Madras had a KBCS lab, right? That was started in 85, 86 or something, hosted between electrical engineering and I think computer science back then. So it's not that fascination with AI is new, and the public hoopla about AI was very, very big in the US and Europe back then, not in India, right? So what happened was a lot of this hype, right, was turned out to be unfounded, because AI systems, while doing great in laboratory conditions, when you started putting them out in the real world, right, they were not able to scale. There are so many, starting from simple engineering questions to access questions to guarantees of performance, stability questions. All of these were not answered back then, and so when people tried to build, public-facing systems with AI, things were breaking. Right, they were very fragile, and so since the promise was not followed by delivery, so people's fascination quickly died out. The first thing that went away was government funding, right? And then the military funding stopped, and then of course, the AI hoopla just died down.